Hello everyone, hopefully everybody's doing well. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, although I still have a little bit of hoarseness that you can tell in my voice. Um, it is February 26th. I want to say that I was very pleased with the first exams. Really good job. Excellent students. I'm not saying it's the teaching. I'm saying that you guys are doing really well, preparing yourself really well. Just so pleased with everybody that did so well on that exam. Good job, guys. Really happy about that. We're into Chapter 7, which talks about internal controls. A lot of internal controls that we could talk about. You've had some of it in Accounting 1211. You've had it in 2250. You've had it in 2252. So, you've talked about it before. You've probably talked about it in some of your auditing classes. Internal controls is a very important piece. Now, I do want to make you aware of what's coming up. Obviously, we have spring break coming up, and I'm going to look at the schedule that's right here behind me. We have Chapter 7 due this week, which is the week of February 24th. We have the week of March 3rd, that's your second exam, and Chapter 8. So you're really close to being halfway done. Really close to being really almost there. Plus, you have less and less work coming in terms of discussion boards, and it's just now case studies. It's going to be quizzes coming up. You're going to be a little better off that way. So hopefully you get a little more reprieve as we go along. So we talked about Chapter 7 and internal control, or IT, some of the things that happen in IT and the internal controls that happen in IT. So there's 6 components of IT. The 6 components of IT on pages 3 through 6 are very important. Computer hardware, central processing units, terminals, computer chips, printers, very important to you. For instance, if your company is one of those companies that uses QuickBooks, some of those to do your accounting information. If you have your own software that does the accounting information, very important to you that you know what your computer hardware is. Networks, intranets. I said intranets, and the internet. Networks that allow you to share lots of data on servers back and forth. Software, again, go back to the QuickBooks, Peachtree. Think like Microsoft Office Suite, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Data or Access. These are all different softwares that you use, and these are very important to us in the accounting field. That's one of the components of IT. Databases. This is where large amounts of data is stored. It can be in a computer warehouse. Most companies have a data warehouse or an online or offline data warehouse where their stuff is maintained. That is important to us in IT. Okay, information. Any information system that collects and stores data. Think Amazon. The reason I say think Amazon is because what happens on Amazon is transactions occur constantly. When these transactions occur, that data or that information is collected and stored. It's updated through hardware. It's updated through software. It's shared on networks through multiple places. And then lastly, the last component of IT is people. Because without people, none of this is available. So we have to really understand the 6 components of IT. Okay, typical causes of IT risk. These are things that come in and they propose or they are a big risk to us if we allow them to happen. Pages 7 through 9. Computer software. It is susceptible to power outages. For instance, if the power goes out at Columbus State, what happens to our Blackboard? What happens to our website? What happens to our students? We have a backup system. We have a generator that continues the power for our products. Now, it can't go on forever, but if there's a small power outage, we can control that. Networks. Networks that transmit information that can be intercepted and stolen. Now, if you've been reading anything in the news, you're well aware that Target had a big network transmission that was intercepted and stolen, which led to a lot of money being stolen through the use of credit cards. This is a big risk for IT. Computer software, that it can be inaccurately programmed or can produce bad information. For instance, one of the things that I did in accounting for years was I created macros inside of Excel, which automatically populated things through Excel on spreadsheets for me. It helped me do my accounting information fast. The problem with that is, if I were to type something in or do the macro wrong, or the spreadsheet comes in wrong format, then I am responsible if it produces any bad information. I have to be aware of that. Lastly, databases that can be infiltrated. Whether we like it or not, we will always have people that are trying to get into our databases and infiltrate those. So it leads us to the types of controls. How can we control these IT issues that we have? Well, we can have physical access. For instance, you could have your databases locked up and there's a keypad to get in. Only certain people are allowed in, the signing in and out of the database. Locked doors, not allowing people into our network rooms so they can't mess up our network. Not allowing people into places where sensitive information is stored. Those are very big IT controls. Surveillance cameras to make sure that people aren't getting in, and if they are, we know who they are. That way they cannot manipulate or steal any of our data. Encryption. A lot of things that I used to do with the Department of Defense, I had to encrypt the data that I sent to and from via email. That data needed to be encrypted in case it was stolen, so outside parties could not unencrypt and then find the information. Only those people that I worked with had the ability to get out of the encryption and see the actual product I was presenting. And lastly, firewalls, because you don't want people being able to break in and see what your company's doing. So, IT control, chapter 7. It's a very short chapter, I believe, but it's very important to understand that IT plays a central role in everything we do in accounting. We'll never get away from technology and internal controls. So we have to understand how to manipulate it, we have to understand the risk that it poses, and then we have to understand how to control the IT information that comes to it. Hey guys, finish out strong. We're almost at spring break. That's the most important piece that you should be focusing on. I'll be healthy afterwards. I'll get a little bit more to you, but we're almost there. Push through. Good luck, guys.